Welcome back to Heal with God podcast. I'm Heather O'Brien, your host, and this is the time of year when we're all thinking about new beginnings, setting new goals, creating new habits. But I want to ask you this. How many times have you set a goal in the new year to heal from emotional pain, trauma, or unhealthy patterns, only to see it fizzle out by, February? You're not alone in that. Maybe you've been stuck in the cycle of starting strong, only to feel defeated when the hard work of change starts to feel overwhelming. Are you wondering, why does this always happen? Why can't I just stay committed to my healing? Well, here's the thing. Healing is a process, and just like any big change, it requires counting the cost. But here's the good news. It's not about doing more work. It's about building the right routines with God's help that's going to help you get where you want to go. And no, you don't have to go at it alone. I want to help you finish the healing journey that you've started this year. With practical steps and prophetic guidance, you can actually see lasting transformation. So how about we finish this year well and count the cost for next year, and how we can have new disciplines that stack up and create a lasting change so that we can finish well. Let's get into it. Hey warrior, welcome to Heal with God. Do you want to heal from hurt and heartache? Do you find yourself constantly thinking of ways to heal from trauma, anxiety, and depression, only to be met with the fear of failing and feeling hopeless? Hey there, I'm Heather O'Brien. I too was a Christian sitting on the pews every Sunday, but hopelessly living with addictions as well as depression and anxiety for years. I prayed for myself, but I was full of shame, being stuck in cycles I couldn't break free from. My healing and deliverance came from learning how to hear God's voice. Okay, stay with me here. I didn't know that was a thing either. I didn't know the God of the universe, my creator, wanted to personally talk to me, but he did, and he does. Through prayer, God gave me a blueprint of step-by-step instructions to forgive the unforgivable, heal from trauma, and be delivered of limiting beliefs as well as addictions. If you're ready to find healing with God through prayers that actually work, this podcast is for you. Warrior, I pray the spirit of revelation comes upon you now, and may your heart and mind be receptive to hearing God's voice as you tune in. You want to heal from hurt, but every move toward healing has ended up making you feel like a failure or that nothing can help. You've prayed, you've sought help elsewhere, but you still feel as hopeless as before. Warrior, I am so sorry that those things that you've tried to heal with God haven't worked. If you're ready to fast track your healing with God, why don't you follow a roadmap I personally use to begin hearing God's voice to heal from trauma, anxiety, and depression? Start your free mental makeover challenge right now. With these 5 simple daily routines, you can anticipate your spiritual, physical, and mental health improving immediately, even in the first week. I'm ready to share this life-changing framework that's going to lead you to freedom for free. Join the free Mental Makeover Challenge right now. Check out all the details at heatherobrien.net/Mental Makeover Challenge. That's heatherobrien.net/Mental Makeover Challenge. And the link is in the show notes. You know, I've been there before, where the new year rolls around and I'm full of excitement to change everything. Get organized, start that healthy habit, and tackle all the emotional baggage. I start off strong, but in a few weeks, the motivation fades and it feels like I'm right back where I started. And that's why this year I'm going to give you a little pep talk on December 30th. That's when this episode is airing originally. And I want you to remember that starting the new year doesn't have to be so difficult. And having all of the motivation at the beginning and having it fade doesn't have to be your story. In fact, I want to tell you a little story about me getting some Christmas presents ready for this year. I received a free craft machine. It was a $99 Cricut machine. And I thought, okay, this is going to be so fun. I'm going to make some really cool personalized Christmas gifts with this. And I ended up spending hours researching, planning, trying to make personalized gifts for the family members. But instead of success, I just thought I was going to go print some stickers and make these gifts, I ran into problem after problem. I had to learn about what material to use. I had to buy the material. And then the materials didn't work. The ones that I planned on, I bought a bulk of these things that I was going to personalize, and it doesn't work with that ink that I got. And it was time after time that the materials didn't work. The time didn't seem to pay off. And yet I didn't quit. Why? Because I knew that every time I learned from my mistakes, I was building the endurance that I needed to finish strong. And the same thing is going to go for your healing journey. It may feel overwhelming at times, but every new step, every small discipline builds on the one before it. And you will finally see the results that you're praying for. So many of us start the new year with high hopes and big goals for emotional and spiritual healing, maybe even physical healing, right? But somewhere along the way, we just get discouraged. Maybe we believe we should see immediate results, or that once we decide to heal, it should just happen effortlessly. I'm thinking about losing weight. Like, I exercised today. Shouldn't it all just, all the fat just melt away? I ate that one salad. Shouldn't it do everything? And we laugh because we know that's not how it works. But somehow in our mind, we wish it was. But the truth is, healing is a process, and it requires an investment, whether it's physical or emotional. Time, energy, and emotional resources are going to be required. And if we aren't prepared for the cost of the journey, then we can really easily burn out or give up. So when we approach healing with the mindset that it should be quick or easy, we often fall into the pattern of quitting when things get tough. So have you noticed yourself doing this before? Starting with enthusiasm, but then losing the motivation when the emotional work gets heavy? That subconscious behavior is a defense mechanism. It's against the discomfort of growth. You're defending yourself against the discomfort of growth. The truth is, healing isn't instant, but every time that you take a step towards movement, towards healing, you get closer to that transformation that you're desiring. And we really don't finish well because we underestimate the cost. Not the financial cost, but the emotional and spiritual cost. Just like starting a new project or business or new exercise routine, healing is the same. It requires consistent investment in yourself. And the Bible teaches us in Luke 14:28-30 to count the cost before we start. If we don't, we risk only seeing the foundation of our healing laid and never building upon it. We need to commit to each step, building endurance and strength, just like Romans 5:3-5 encourages us. Endurance leads to character. Character builds the confident hope in God's ability to finish the work that He's begun in us. So I want to give you 4 practical steps to building new healing disciplines. Number 1 is acknowledging the cost. Healing is going to take time and effort, and you need to be real with yourself about the commitment that this journey is going to require. Just like building a house, it's going to take more than just starting the process. It's going to require endurance and resilience. Number 2, it's time to start small, because starting small will build momentum. You don't need to change everything all at once. You need to start with one small, achievable discipline. Journaling out for 5 minutes, or reading a verse of scripture each morning, or spending 10 minutes in prayer each day. In fact, I say go back to the beginning of the episode. I told you about the mental makeover challenge. This gives you some really quick, easy wins and ways to start building momentum. It comes with a checklist and emails in your inbox every day to keep you accountable. Okay, so step 1 was acknowledging the cost. Step 2 is starting small so you can build momentum. And step 3 is stacking your disciplines. As you start with one small routine, I want you to add another one as it becomes a habit. And so each new discipline builds on the last. And that is going to create some powerful momentum towards your healing. And step 4 is to embrace setbacks as part of the process. Just like in my craft project, setbacks are part of the process. I needed to learn what I didn't know. And every time I learned something, that knowledge helped me build on creating a project that now I can just print anytime I want it and it's ready. But I had to have setbacks along the way. So setbacks are part of your process. And every time you face a challenge, you need to know that that's actually going to build more endurance. Don't let failures discourage you. Instead, see them as opportunities for growth and refinement. I get excited when I have failures. I know that sounds silly, but failures are an opportunity. They are an opportunity for growth. Okay, so you don't have to do all of this alone. The good news is the more you can count the cost and commit to the process, the closer you're going to get to real, lasting transformation. And that's what we all want. You may not be able to see the end result right now, but trust me, as you keep stacking these small disciplines, you're going to begin to see the change. And if you need extra support, I want to invite you to take the next step with me. I have now made it available where you can book a one-on-one prophetic healing coaching session with me online on my website. Go to heatherobrien.net and find the Work With Me tab, and you can go ahead and book a one-on-one session with me directly. And I'll pair it with the courses as we see fit, and I'll show you how to help you move forward one step at a time. As you embark on this journey to heal and build new disciplines in the new year, I want to invite you to consider working with me one-on-one. I have 5 coaching spots available for 45-minute telephone sessions designed to help you break free from emotional, mental, and relational struggles. In our time together, I'm going to provide you with inner healing, prophetic guidance, and practical tools to address the root causes of your challenges. And together, we're going to develop a personalized plan to help you break free from trauma, anxiety, or any limiting beliefs that's holding you back. If you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or burdened by emotional pain or relational issues, this coaching session is for you. We're going to uncover the root causes of your struggle, and you're going to walk away with practical steps to move forward. By the end of your session, you're going to feel empowered, knowing that true transformation is possible and that you don't have to walk this road alone. Okay, so as you enter this new year, I want you to remember healing doesn't have to be an unattainable dream. By counting the cost, starting with small routines, and building them into stacked series of disciplines, you can finish well. This year, you can break free from trauma, anxiety, and pain, but it requires a commitment, endurance, and God's help. If you're ready to dive deeper and receive personalized guidance, I'd love to walk alongside you in a one-on-one prophetic healing coaching session. Together, we can finish this healing journey that God has already started in you. At the beginning of this episode, I mentioned a way to fast track your healing with God. Consider following a proven roadmap that actually works with my free mental makeover challenge. I'm ready to share this life-changing framework that will lead you to freedom for free. Can I save you a spot? Join the free mental makeover challenge right now. Check out all the details at heatherobrien.net/mental makeover challenge. That's heatherobrien.net/mental makeover challenge. And the link is in the show notes. Well, hey, Warrior, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for taking your time to tune in. Just to be clear, the opinions, services, and/or products mentioned by the host or guest on this podcast do not guarantee the results or outcomes of any kind. You alone are exclusively accountable for the results, consequences, and outcomes for your life. This podcast isn't a substitute for your physician or therapist, but I'm honored you included me on your spiritual growth journey. Would you take a moment right now to pause and share this episode with at least one person you thought of while listening? It might be the very encouragement they need today to know that you were thinking of them. Also, it would mean so much to me if you take a minute to leave me a written review on Apple Podcasts, letting me know how this podcast is encouraging or challenging you. And if you haven't yet, scroll down to the show notes below and sign up for the weekly Heal with God Insider email, as well as the community Facebook group. I'm looking forward to connecting with you again next Monday, Warrior. Until then, I pray blessings and favor will chase you down.